I think our off-air show is better than our on-air show.
What off-air show?
There's more swearing.
There is.
What's swearing?
I would say it's unsufferable, Eagle. Not insufferable.
I preface this conversation with
Oh my God.
unsufferable.
I'm gonna preface your face with my fist.
What game?
Hi, Mo.
Good
Sorry.
evening.
let's let you start the show.
Yes, let's do this. All right, welcome back to Calling the Audible. It is the completion of week 7. My God.
Yes, sir.
Crazy,
Already,
eh?
eh?
Crazy, eh? Yeah.
Technically not yet. There's games tonight.
Yeah, so we're going to do a live call-in.
We're gonna precap those games.
Yeah, we're going to recap.
We're gonna recap the games that haven't happened yet, which is different from
Recap.
predictions. And then next week, GM will tell us what happened, and we'll compare it to our alternate reality versions.
How is it different
of these
from
games.
predictions?
Exactly.
How?
Well, because we're recapping. These things actually happen in different versions of reality. These
We're
things
actually
happen.
using facts.
Yeah,
We are.
that didn't happen, or may not have happened.
Or may happen.
It's
fake
We
news.
don't know.
Yeah.
Fake
Hey,
news
fake news is
fun.
still news.
It is.
true.
You know, like there's no such thing as bad press. There's no such thing as fake news.
Simon Dajane, Peeze Del Rizzi, Eagle, and GM.
I have no idea what you guys are talking
Yeah, I know. We will do live look-ins throughout the CFL game as well, as we'll get Peeze and
Can we
Simon's
not?
reaction on plays. They'll break it down for us. Calgary, Ottawa tonight, live
Oh,
look-in.
also at the same
Can't
time, my engagement party's on Sunday.
Oh.
We're putting together some Spotify playlists for the event because it's at my
Yes.
home. So luckily nobody knows where I live. So
Well, for those who want to know, we can give you the link
Please
on
don't.
the Facebook.
So Eagle, I want
Should
you.
we give them Rob's new address?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eagle,
Oh, wow, look at this. Gifts.
I want you to be doing research for me during the show. So like, there's 3 parts of the party. Like when people show up, I need like sort of like country music / happy ukulele erection music for that part of the day. When we're eating, I want sort of like chill lounge music, and
So,
then
like
and then
the
for the last
intro
part of the party, straight bangers.
So for
Straight
the,
bangers.
For the meal, what we just
Could be
had
gay
for our
bangers
track,
too. I have no problem
what
with
we
that.
have for our intro
What?
would work.
What?
For our intro track would work for like the meal portion.
Yeah, we should definitely throw the Calling the Audible song into there.
And then for the, I guess the intro, like, and everyone's showing up and everything, we have the theme song.
Hold on. How do we go off the top course here?
And then when,
This is no longer your show, Mo.
and then at the end when it's party time, we go with our original theme.
about. Yeah, ready for the fight.
There we go.
Oh, that's really
that was a long time ago.
I was gonna
Wait
go
for the
with
fights, gotta get in there. Also, for those of you at home want to contribute to the show, tell me what you'd play if it was your engagement
My
party.
question is this the indoor or outdoor event?
Indoor and outdoor.
Speak some sunscreen.
The outdoor, we have some covers that we've installed with tarps,
Yeah.
but we'll have the air conditioning blazing so that we can have people come in and out. as
Hold
they
on.
please.
Isn't the air conditioning going to blow up if you have heat combined with the air
Listen, man, I didn't create physics.
Can we
So-
cut the music?
Yeah.
I literally can't hear Mo.
It's
So I'm
louder
guessing
than-
as to what his question is. Like,
Yeah.
blow up? I'm like, I don't know. I
We
don't know
wasted
about
3
physics.
minutes on talking about Peasy's tarps. That's what we did right now.
I love my tarps. My lovely, lovely lady tarps.
Nice.
All right, let's get back on course here.
add that one to the soundtrack.
What's a chorus?
It's where we talk about what we're going to do.
Okay.
All
Sorry,
right.
I was confused.
The week that was in week 7,
Yes.
almost completed. We have 2 more games that we'll do a precap for. Those precaps we'll get to momentarily. It's Bulldogs and Sacs and the U against XO. All right, games that you saw this week, gentlemen.
We were there together. Rancers.
You make it sound like we're like a couple here. Like
We
guys
always
are, though,
we're
right?
always together.
I know.
No one else said that. You went straight there.
I mean, he said we were together.
He didn't go
No
straight
one else
there.
thought of that.
Yeah,
No
I
one else
think
even
people do.
alluded to it. You were right there, ready with it.
Yes, as you're saying, Ranchers Krakens are blowouts.
Yeah, it was a blowout. Honestly, that we've talked about that Rancers defense all season, saying it's a very good defense. They have a few good players. That roster as a whole is pretty strong. Like they got some good receivers. Their defense is very good. I don't have the roster in front of me. That guy number 2 made a ridiculous interception.
If only you had a device. That
I mean,
allowed
you have a
to do
phone
this
in your
shit.
hands.
On a
You're
different
referring
game.
to Julien Gingras, who had a great game.
There you go.
Or as
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like to call him, Gingras.
yeah, they're a really good game, and it shows that if you're in Division E, if you're playing Rancers, there's a good chance your quarterback's gonna make mistakes, and they're gonna make you pay for it.
Well, I think we said it during the game. We counted 3 guys that could probably play in a higher division if they wish.
Maybe even 4.
Maybe 4. We look at a guy like number 2, as you said, in Gingras. Ricard Desrosiers had a really good game. Max Ledoux, he's a really good player.
But this is a rebuilt core from like
2 years ago.
a couple years ago. So like
Yeah.
Bonhomme Jaune were in Division 5 before, and then we had before that Rancers were Division 4, struggling Division 4 team, but like so.
It's a big step down from 4 to E.
Yeah, exactly. The game slows down a lot for especially I find on defense if you can communicate well. It really helps you and gives you an advantage in Division E where quarterbacks aren't adapt to changing their play throughout the game.
Well, they're smart. They know that the guys who are playing short flats understand that their job is not to play anything behind them. So they're
Mhm.
just playing in front, and they're shooting routes a lot, and they're getting a lot of interceptions out of it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's very
and
aggressive.
It
This
makes it
game-
very difficult for a quarterback
The
afterwards.
game's over after the first 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, for
It
sure.
was
No, it
32,
was
6.5. And they just ran through them. And you look at the last 3
Big
games for
Lancers to
Rancers.
them.
Yeah, the Rancers have a really easy schedule to
Yeah.
end off the last 3 games of the year. They play the Bruins, the only toughest game I think they have left.
And their only loss so
Clinkers.
far is to Glow Gang, and it's possibly their only real test
And-
all season long. You know?
Yeah,
And
well, Golgang's
we
also a
saw
very
them
good
on
team.
Tuesday as well, and they ran through broken ankles like they had broken arms as well. But that's it's not even a fair competition, though.
No.
It's,
Yeah.
it's not.
But
they
it
toyed
should
with-
be because
Well, broken ankles were missing 2 guys and their
who were they
quarterback.
missing?
They were missing the quarterback, Jonathan
Okay.
Lemure. They were missing another guy. I don't remember his name.
Let's put it this
But anyways,
way.
they were missing bodies and their quarterback.
So loss.
So and then you're playing the best team in the division
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, and Glow Gang just
They toyed with them.
yeah. For
They just it was like a puppet, and they just pulling the strings on them, and they just did whatever they wanted to do with them on Tuesday. And
Yeah.
it is a depleted ankles roster, but if you have best on best, maybe it's a little bit closer. But I think Low Gang head and shoulders are above everyone
Oh,
else right now in this division.
I think so too. Glow Gang is very strong.
Yeah,
They're toying with players and they're just scoring at ease.
they're having fun.
He threw the dumbest pick one. Like JD Jetty brought it back, and as soon as he started running, the quarterback who was lined up right in front of him moved away to let him score. He was in front of him, and he walked in the other direction to let him run up the sideline with nobody chasing him.
Well, we saw Arnaud Desjardins in the finals in the fall. In the winter, and like one of the things noted about him, even as a quarterback, is his athleticism is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So he could have caught JD Jolly. If he
Oh,
wanted
definitely,
to.
but he didn't want to. He told his team was complaining. He turned around and was like, "Who cares?"
Yes, Jim.
We have a write-in, which
Oh.
will be a good precursor to our
Before
next
we
recap.
before you say who it is from, can you predict who the writer is?
I don't know, can you?
I say it's Duke.
I don't think.
I say Marmaduke.
Marmaduke, I like that.
Marmaduke.
It's Alexis Dubois.
Oh,
Sup,
yes.
Lex?
Just putting it out there before my game starts, but Tropic Thunder, missing QB, number 1 corner, number 1 safety, result, best game of the season, and Bradley Perrin is a beast.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
It's going to be covered in my article, so I'll let you guys talk about it if you like.
Well,
I literally wrote that before coming here today.
I
Can
Those
we
words
just like have a
exactly?
jar that says it's going to be covered in my article, and every time you say that on
Yeah.
air, you have to put a dollar
Yeah.
in?
It'll pay
Oh,
for beer.
Man,
at the
we
end
would
of the
be
season.
so rich.
here's like
I write long articles, okay?
and you know what? Funny enough, pension plan. Some of the guys were at Saint Laurent yesterday, and Noah Lachance, who actually subbed in for Tropic Thunder, was saying like, if we just caught the
Nola,
ball-
12 years old.
yeah,
Yes.
all
Same
13-year-olds. Anyway, like they were impressed by it. They go, look, dude, you have a good arm and stuff. But here's the screw up though. Okay, so this involves Zone 6 ballers who are desperate for players.
Okay.
So there were like 4 guys or 5 guys. They had no quarterback. They asked Noah to be their quarterback. And luckily, I caught that before it became a forfeit for Zone 6 ballers.
Did
Mhm.
Zone 6 ballers win?
They ended up winning. Yeah, he
Yeah.
brought someone else. They won
Nice.
like 45 points. But the point is that when you look at Tropic Thunder and the fact they bring in a guy out of the street and Noah Lachance to be their quarterback, and like, yeah, he threw 319.
It's not someone off the street.
But
it's-
from the level of play from where he is to where he's
So I was
now.
talking about that, like, so Division E, especially E2, especially one of the older teams in pension plan, is the game slower or faster when comparing it to FPF Junior?
Different.
That's not the question I asked.
I know, but
answer the
it's-
question I
it's
asked. And then we
not-
can talk
I
about your
think for
thing.
them
It's not-
How about you respect the question I asked?
No, I was about to answer.
No, you
before
weren't. You were about to answer something else.
No,
That's the question I asked
it's
you.
different because it's not faster or slower. It's
It is one of those things, though.
the play calling is better,
So
but
Rewind.
the pace of the game.
also, the play calling is not necessarily better because you have coaches in FPF Junior who played FPF who call plays from FPF So wrong. Next thing, is it faster or
Well,
slower?
I mean, if you're calling the plays,
Well,
It's a more simplified playbook than it is.
not necessarily. Not if
I
you
don't
were
think-
GMPs.
Yeah, but I don't think some
Those
coaches
poor
are-
children.
I know, ruin their lives.
If you see the safety playing high-low, run this. I don't think they're doing route adjustments on the fly here in kids.
I mean, depends on the team. I'm telling you.
Maybe Gino DeFazios. I don't know.
What we need is Rushdie Ben Abdelkader to coach like a junior team.
Oh,
and I
man.
just see him on the, dude, what are you doing? Look where you are.
The prayer, for those who don't know, Rashid Ben Abdelkader, big Afro Hall of Famer. He's won like 85 million trophies in FPF history. We'll talk about him in Division A.
So my
podcast.
question is: do you think playing against Pension Plan after playing against a bunch of young teams in FPF Junior, do you think it's the game was slowed down or the game was faster for Noah?
I think it would slow down for them to get the victory.
that.
the pace overall is faster.
Why could nobody answer that question?
I just did.
Yeah, the pace overall is faster, but in the play itself.
Yeah,
is
the players you're
the
covering.
one play feels slower, but the game itself is
Yeah, of
faster. You're
course,
gonna
you
get more
pla-
plays in,
Exactly.
but the plays individually will feel slower.
Yes, Eagle. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I have Skype credits, so we can call Stefano.
Yes, if you can, please call him up. And if we need more credits, just borrow Rob's credit card. Okay. I'm sure
I
he
gotta
knows habits.
I gotta give Ryan Aridi credit. I got home last night after my game, and he's trying to steal the throne back from Lance Daniel as Game of the Week guy because he was breaking news that Lance Daniel wanted to break was unofficial Game of the Week between Orsa and Underdogs. Orsa winning at 27-25 on a safety on the last play of the game.
Walk off safety, man.
Yeah,
The only way to live.
it doesn't happen often at all.
It's happened quite a bit in this division, though.
It's Stefano Villani's walk-off safeties. No, come on.
Should have
it can't
happened to
happen.
us.
It's 2 weeks ago in
Yeah, I
Brossard.
know. We should have had that.
When we were playing, when you were making fun of me because my game was a 6-6 game, was Krakens.
Yes.
And they ended up winning on the
I was
safety
so
with 4 plays
mad.
left.
But that's not walk-off. Like, this is like last play.
Whatever.
Well,
Stefano
it's
Villani
wa-
is only
I have
sack,
that.
no
Well,
tackles.
Yeah,
in the
was
game.
you had a
walk-off.
walk-off with
That's
Hot Boys Hotline a couple
Odd
weeks
boys,
ago.
yeah.
I
First
scored
is James
caps.
Andrea.
So that shows how
Yeah.
not often it happens. If we can single-handedly call the times that happen.
Also, you
So
have
you're right.
the only person in FPF, well, one of the only teams to have a 2-0 game.
It's not a walk-off, though.
It's a 2-0 game.
That's sad.
But yeah, so the kids were hyped. I actually,
And if you look insane.
the mother of Massimo and Michael Barbucci was telling me that they were very excited. They were super hyped when they got home.
For sure.
And yeah, 'cause it's like I don't know how you sleep after a game like that,
You
right?
do
Like-
not.
Like because you're like, we're gonna tie, and
You
then
shower and then you go to bed.
yeah.
And you shower and then you go to work. You just skip bed altogether. You're like, it's not work. There's no point in sleeping.
To help the shower, just go to work.
Anything else you guys saw from this past week?
The Ducks, man, resurging slowly but surely.
Yeah.
They've been playing better.
Yeah.
Well, they changed quarterback. Matt Damon's in the quarterback.
Yes.
We'll
So
talk
that
about
changes
that.
things.
I know you want to rip
I-
so and so at quarterback, right?
They're playing better as a whole. Like the team is playing better and they're winning games now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're slowly climbing up the ranks. And there's still 3 games left.
Yeah, there's 3 games left, but the game that I scored, Cap, that really caught my attention was on Monday with Guardians against ECW, and Guardians winning 32-26.
It's a close game.
It was, but
But-
look, aesthetically, it's a mismatch
4.
for ECW.
Mm-hmm.
They should
But,
win. Is what you're saying?
but from a mental perspective of how they attack, Guardians had a great game plan.
Well, Pat Saint-Amand is a very good quarterback to begin with.
Too good for division move. But so the thing is that like Eagle pointed out when we were talking about to some other teams earlier in the season, he said, look, if you play man, he's gonna call plays that break your man defense. If you call zones, he's gonna pick you apart.
Yeah.
And so like unless you have a hyper aggressive defense that knows how to read concepts and shoot gaps, and like even then, like he's still gonna win some
Hold on,
matches.
is your
Yeah.
voice cracking, bro?
I know what's going on the past couple of weeks, man. I'm falling apart.
Yeah,
I'm falling
man.
apart.
It's the shipping container, man. The really
Yeah.
humidity.
Stripping container.
Yeah, exactly.
The best way to beat Guardians is clock.
Yeah, and you need to score.
You match their scores and you hold 4 possessions each.
So yeah.
That's
Okay.
just it, 4 possessions.
2 first half, 2 second half. That's your game.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Eagle.
Cool.
Stefano Berardi will join us in about 10 minutes.
Hopefully he's going to have better information.
Yeah, well, we'll keep him on the phone. Anyway, I know, Eagle, you don't have the schedule up for the strength of schedules here.
Not this week.
Why?
But do you have
I'm
anything?
lazy.
on vacation.
That's
You literally had nothing else to do.
Brutally
That's
honest.
actually why it's not done, because I was on vacation.
That's brutally honest. He's like,
Okay,
why?
so
I'm lazy.
I
Could
would
we-
have gotten it done if
could-
I was at work, because I wouldn't have worked. I would have done it.
So could we get at least last week's up?
You have
Well,
it.
Why?
Yeah, no. We
So
did
we
that.
can,
It no longer
we-
means
we
anything.
Could miss it. We could do a Mike Roy and misinform everybody about
Yeah.
what to expect from the training schedule. Okay,
Fair.
this has gone off the rails right now. Unbelievable. We're off to a terrible start.
Does that mean he's at 77 days today?
That is, yeah. I actually, you know what? We'll talk about it in the higher division. Don't want to ruin the story from last night. We'll talk about the frauds, though. We were talking about Easy W.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you mentioned that in our.
Oh, the frauds. Okay,
frauds.
wow. Sorry.
Or would you rather go no action Jackson with Martin Jackson as a quarterback for Ducks?
No, I'm surprised he's not more involved in the offense. Like,
But he's not snapping though,
okay,
which is what he's been doing for so long. And
yeah, but like,
and that's the position Mathieu Domont uses the most.
I that's also true. But like, you figure like a player who's as good as Martin Jackson would be able to beat zones in Division E.
Yeah, but it's the way the quarterback uses. So Mathieu Domont's offense doesn't use players; it uses positions, and it calls plays for guys to get open rather than single players being better than whoever they're playing. So he excels when the snapper that he uses the most is the best player on the team, or he excels really when the wideout that he puts over there does the job that he needs him to do. I don't think Martin Jackson is in a position to get the targets that he could potentially have.
So why has Matthew Dumont regressed?
Well, I mean, they're playing better now that he's quarterback, though. So I don't even know if he's regressed. I was surprised that he can even throw in.
He's playing well.
What?
He's playing well.
But
He's
I'm
regressed.
surprised he could throw in Division E, though.
Well, he's regressed only because the team that he's been forever with is not as good as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Ducks are also not as good as these I've heard.
No, they're not.
The other thing is, just looking into this game, Marc-André Delaunay started really poorly. And
Desaulniers?
yeah,
The
Desaulniers, right.
writer.
He started slowly and did not get couldn't catch up eventually. Like Ducks just kept scoring, and when Marc-André started playing better, it was too late. They also ran a weird play on fourth down where they went to like a reverse play to Louis Bégin, but the defense instantly called. As soon as they saw him in the backfield,
Louis Manning.
they said
Yes.
they were calling can't throw because they knew that
He
he
couldn't
threw
throw,
it
yeah.
would violate the quarterback cap. So really excellently and smartly played by Ducks, but like call time out. Don't run your play.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know the
If
play.
they see it coming, and
You need to call time out
he's
immediately.
not going to juke
Do
seven
you
guys.
think our boy Marc-André Delaunay believes he is like Teflon Don at quarterback?
What do you mean?
Like I speak to him and he gives me the recap of the games of what he did, and it's like, man, I was just off by a half an inch. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown. But otherwise, it's a pick six.
Listen, we all wish we had a half inch more.
We wish we did.
But I will say again, I've personally I've been impressed with Marc-André Desaulniers since he started playing quarterback. I'm biased. I can freely admit my bias, Lance Daniel. But the thing is that at the same time, there is a point in FPF as you're learning the quarterback position where you've learned a lot, and like your brain is still going a little bit faster than your arm is, sort of thing. And then like that kind of catches up. Like you start to learn your timing.
Yeah,
And
there's a
like,
plateau.
yeah, but then like the learning isn't linear, right? Like you don't get continuously better every week. You learn a bit and then you stop and then you learn a bit. And so like right now I feel like he's reached that point and he's going to get to that next step where he learns a little bit more. And it's something like, for example, like a lot of his throws are a little bit off. It's that the time of release is late or the time of release is early, and it's he's just not throwing to the receiver at the right time. So it looks like he's underthrowing, it looks like he's overthrowing, but it's actually that he's not throwing it like at the right point in the route.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's like really super. I mean, this is a boring podcast, but
Yeah,
it's
kind of
yeah.
like, my
So let's
God.
go to something more interesting and make fun of people.
Yes, we'll make fun of them very soon.
Precaps.
Yeah,
Pre-caps.
precaps, baby.
We'll go live phone in to Steph Berardi very soon here. But you brought up a point, Peeze, about some of the frauds, right? You mentioned Easy W.
No, you
So-
brought.
I
you
feel
brought
like
the
I
frauds.
never called them frauds, by the way.
You brought the
But
frauds.
you wrote down the script topics.
Yeah,
I was trying to decipher
That's
what
fair.
you wrote.
So
That was-
you brought the
that
frauds.
was in secret. That's the pre-show meeting. But yeah,
That's that was
we
frauds.
don't,
Okay,
we don't have
whatever.
meetings.
my thing is like so EasyW. I feel like
So hold on, before you answer, are they fakes, frauds, or wannabes?
they
Can we have another choice?
Let's see. Fraud may be criminal. Let's go with
Wannabe or fakes?
fakes because I don't know who they would want to be. My guess would be the cast of the 80s show The Wonder Years.
Oh,
But I would know that for sure.
I would go with wannabes because they want to be.
Well, yeah,
they want to be their name, but they're just not.
They want to be a Division E1 playoff team.
Okay.
But when that happens, 'cause I think they will be,
Well, if
they're going to lose first round
Yeesh.
because they're winning games where they're the better athletes.
Well, if we had the schedule predictor up, we would be up
Si
to date.
seulement.
I am literally updating it now.
Oh, look at that. They do
It'll be
some
the
work.
last segment of the show.
It'll be on for Division A. We'll get it up there for Division A.
But so
podcast.
they're
Stay
winning.
tuned.
They're winning games because they're faster than teams. But then when you play experienced teams who know how to manage speed, even if they're not as fast as you, just experienced teams that know how to deal with teams
They
that are
won't
faster
let a
than them.
2-yard hitch turn into a 40-yard bomb.
Exactly, and they won't let you run the quarterback position. So that's going to happen in the E1 playoffs. Bounce first round. Heard of your first. Boom.
So you're saying they're one and done?
Yeah. I don't even do that. I don't do hot takes, so that's a big
Well,
deal.
you do.
Can we get the fire
Depends on-
sound bite or some sort of
Fireball, baby.
yeah?
If only we had a
Burning
producer.
fire.
Nice.
No,
Hot
no,
takes.
something that's more like a barbecue sound, like when you hear the
barbecue
flames
sound?
go
I'm
through the
crackling.
grill.
I'm hungry
Barbecue
now.
sound.
Yeah, like a flame grill, like
Mokan, who you want to make fun of this week?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that at the end of the segment.
Well, I don't know where you don't know where you're going with the show, man.
Don't worry.
Just
Don't
follow
worry.
with the script.
We are trying to follow. We're going all over the place. We're yo-yoing around here.
Love it.
We'll get to Steph Berardi, I hope now, I would assume, as we bring him on.
It's like the 7th time we bring this up. So I hope we get to him.
Yeah, well, we're going to have him on talk about what the live look-ins in Brossard, Quebec. He's down there. Maybe there hopefully wasn't any delays because of traffic yesterday.
It was bad yesterday.
Were you there?
To go
or-
to Brossard? Yeah, I was.
I
Well,
don't think
later
you
on.
got Brossard. Oh, here we go.
Really, you couldn't just mute that?
Actually, no.
No, he mutes us usually.
Hello?
Steph,
Steph.
How's it going?
Steph.
Oh,
what's going on? You're
What,
live on
just
the
Mo?
podcast.
I'm live on the podcast, am I?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
We're doing a live look-in for your games. How boring are they tonight?
Well, I can tell you that the BD Bandits are trailing by 6 with less than a minute left in the game.
Okay, I don't care for that.
We need Division E.
Division E games.
All right, well,
games.
Division E, you've got the Bulldogs winning right now, 28-26, against, I'm assuming that it's the Amateur de Sac.
Yeah, they
can
love
you,
the sack.
Can you give us like a
Could be
play-by-play,
wrong.
please?
But their
Does that value your
jerseys
TV
have
deal?
some profanity, so I'm not going to say what's on them.
Okay.
No problem. But can you give us like a
The balls.
play-by-play of a
Testicles.
coming up play right now?
Big balls. They like big balls.
So I have the BD Bandits game right now.
Okay, forget about that. Just turn me back towards that game and just give us the description.
I thought you could do two games at once.
Yeah, exactly. I could do
I
two.
could.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
didn't
you
ask
can.
for the praise, by the way. I appreciate it. But right now, you got the Amateur de Sac are about 6 yards away from taking a 4-point lead.
Okay.
They're about to throw the ball, and oh wow, 2 of the Bulldogs collided and prevented one of them from getting an interception in the end zone. So that's what's happening there. And now
So two
people
guys,
are gathering.
one concussion,
Two guys
no
from the
interceptions.
Bulldogs.
That's the most defeating of all.
Yeah.
2 guys from the Bulldogs collided, and they prevented one of their players from getting an interception.
Okay, so where are we at now? How many plays left in this game?
There is still time left.
How much time?
I'm not sure how much time is left. Hey,
This is the best call-in.
It's the worst.
This
three,
is awesome.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Who's refing the game?
Oh my God, who cares?
I'm sorry?
Who's refing the game?
Well, they just incomplete pass right now from Amateur de
All right. We'll bring it back in later on in the show.
That's
Nice.
what's happening now.
All right, Steph. We'll call you later on for some other podcasts.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, Steph.
Be good.
All right, no problem.
All right.
So that was terrible.
Are we gambling on how that game ends?
Yes.
So Bulldogs and
Okay.
the sack. So what do we think here? I think
Entertainment purposes only. How does the game end?
Bulldogs win by 2.
But how?
They'll
But they're already
throw-
up by 2, so
they'll-
no more scoring?
Oh, sorry. They're up by 2, right? So
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. So they win by 8.
They win by 8.
Oh.
Because
Yes, Jim.
We have an interesting question that may spark a debate. I actually really like this question.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from Ryan Vanslet.
What's up, Ryan?
How is an injured player who is present at a game credited with a game played, but a player without their correct jersey not credited at all and counted as absent? I understand if they can't be given stats, but shouldn't they be marked as present?
So I Ryan, to your point, I actually have gotten into several arguments with President Rob Campana about the jersey rule. I think it's getting to a point where, like,
Say draconian like you always do.
it's draconian, exactly. But I was gonna say like you gotta, if you're gonna be draconian, shit or get off the pot. Force teams to get jerseys as a part of the registration.
Absolutely.
Or deal with the fact that look, it's not gonna be possible sometimes with the subculture, the substitution culture in our league. It's gonna happen.
But
from
is
time to time.
Ryan? Sorry,
And I think it's enough of a punishment to not get the stats. But at the same time, you're right. If a guy's present and playing in the game, he should get credit for the game. Period.
Just to add to that, though, from a league perspective,
Yeah, I don't
the
care.
substitution culture is such that you come to play a game or two, and so if you don't,
But that's not true. But that's not true.
But
Substitution culture is, some guy stiffed me in week 3. Now I need a sub for the rest of the season. That happens all the time.
yeah,
But
but then
should-
you're
all the
considered
time.
a permanent person on
but
that
shouldn't
team.
the
You're no longer a
captain
sub.
of every team that whatever captain it is, right? Shouldn't they not have a spare uniform?
Yeah, that works when
or
you
two?
first get the uniform. But then what happens 4 seasons later when half of your jerseys have been stolen
So-
and guys are coming to your team like, oh, I already have a red jersey, and they show up and they don't have a number. Like, what do you do?
So that was something we had discussed with Sportiro because we had that issue exactly, and they had to order minimum kits. So
Sponsor.
we removed that restriction with them, and we figured out terms and everything. So now, if you need one jersey, you order one jersey, and you're good. So that was
Which
one of the
again
things-
works at the beginning of the season. It doesn't work mid-season because you can't get a jersey week 7. Especially,
you
for
could.
example, when the green supply and command jerseys didn't match the Sportira green jerseys, and I was told I couldn't use them. For example, so hey, green isn't
I
green.
mean, then again, you're colorblind, so
Yeah, but also is
They
the
could
color
be gray.
green or is it not green?
I've never seen Peeze so passionate
No,
about.
it's dumb.
uniforms.
It's dumb.
Well,
it's
please.
draconian. Rob's wrong. Period.
There's a chance that
This is calling the audible. This is not FPF. We're separate entities, and the league is wrong when it comes to this.
there's a chance that the jerseys were gray and green, which is not the same color.
There's a
You-
chance
you-
that you could shut the hell up and improve
Ryan,
the quality
thank you
of this
so much
podcast.
for this write-in. Honestly, it's
Good
actually
game last night, Ryan, by the
refreshing
way.
to get actual good comments and
Yeah.
questions like this on air.
It's a
Well, we
tricky
have a
topic.
high IQ in the Division E sector.
And your brother would like you to stop yelling.
I will not. I will not.
Mo, just from a scorekeeper.
How does he know?
perspective-
He's listening on
Yeah.
mute.
So, for a scorekeeper perspective, though, there's been multiple times where people, not to say haven't taken the jersey rule seriously, but they've kind of mocked you to a degree, right?
Yeah, but we get them back though. We get them back.
I mean,
Don't
we
worry.
mock Mo constantly.
Don't worry. We get them back.
So yeah. So
Look how happy he is right
All-
now.
Mo
I
is
have to say-
implying that he docks your stats, by
all-
the way,
Don't worry.
everyone out there. Just,
All I have to say-
Read between the lines, boys and girls.
That was a
I'll get you
1 yard
them.
catch for a touchdown from the 10-yard line.
all I have to say, Ryan Vansett, great comment, great question. I agree with you, buddy. Great game yesterday. Lots of respect for you, buddy.
A lot of great right there.
Yeah, he's great. Honestly, good dude.
No,
Good
I
dude.
mean, like, you couldn't use another adjective. You make
No,
fun
but
of
I
me
had-
for using
But
always
it
the
was
same one.
poetry. It was poetry in motion. I had the flow going.
Okay.
When I'm spitting on the mic, I can't control myself.
Yeah, you're going fast forward. Do we have the strength of schedule up now, please?
Yes,
No.
I have it.
Thank God,
No.
because we have like 10 minutes left of this podcast, and we have to fill up content. All right, let's go with the strength of schedule here, please.
We have to
We got
make-
content. We have a bunch of stuff we didn't cover yet.
I know, but this is the big one though, because
Which one?
obviously for those who are curious to know the
Who's the
strength of
jerk this week?
schedule,
Angry Peas is covered.
yeah, we got Angry
That's
Peace
the-
covered. We got that covered. Simone Dagenet's stuff's covered. All right, here we
The
go.
song's covered.
The strength of schedule. The latest numbers now, Eagle, is what? Who has the toughest schedule in E1 and E2, please?
Up to date, if I were to take a look at this.
I hope you
so in E1 so far, the hardest schedule has gone to XD,
Buying time.
and the hardest schedule in E2 has gone to Underdogs. So
Underdogs.
XD, their opponent win percentage, excluding their own games that they played, is 66.67. Underdogs is at 61.9.
and Duke would like to know where LeBron is going.
We'll find out tomorrow night. The option.
Unfortunately, I think it's Cleveland because he
think
can
so.
pick up the year for an option, and it gives teams another year to free cap space. But anyway, I won't get into basketball math because math radio is boring
You
radio.
heard about him texting Katie today?
Yeah.
No.
last
And
night.
Katie's saying,
Last
"Why would I
night.
move, bro?
Yeah, last night.
Where? Why would I go anywhere else?"
All right. In terms of the first place teams, Los Avocados and One Speed Power in E2.
Mhm.
Los Avocados, 58.3 opponent win
Pretty strong.
percentage. One
pretty
speed
good.
power, 47.6.
So that's
So
gonna
surprised me.
is that gonna knock them off, gentlemen?
sir.
Here, what do you think? Small 47% winning percentage for their
Well, I mean,
opponents.
it's hardly their own fault. So,
But we're not
you only
assessing
have
blame.
4
We're
wins.
assessing where teams 5 wins. We're not.
4. The other ones are forfeit. Congratulations on
Okay.
not scoring points.
I-
already.
Fine. Okay, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Yes.
Once we power should be the more to the E2 playoffs. I agree. 100%.
So what do you want, Peeze?
But
What do you want from me?
But I am curious though of like how much, because you guys are on that committee, how much
We found out like 2
the
weeks
strength
ago
of
we were.
schedule.
3, no?
Yeah,
3.
4.
Stefan Berardi is the third member.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought meant weeks.
Weeks.
I thought you meant we'll know in 3 weeks. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so how will you guys weigh that, and then will you weigh sort of like quality loss? So for example, last night we played a very good Savages team.
Yes.
We were down to our third string quarterback, Alex Noel, who played his first ever game at quarterback.
Who's the second string?
It was Peeze.
Who's the third string? You?
Third string is Peeze with his right hand, and then Alex Noel is the third string. But this was literally the first passes he's thrown in FPF.
Nice.
Well, here's my argument, right? I would look at.
So like, how do you gauge like not only the losses but also the quality of wins and losses?
That's what I'm going to tell you. So at
You
the
know?
end of the year, when we all descend upon
Descend upon.
whatever we meet to do this thing,
We're
here,
basically the devil.
I would look at the number of wins that were against teams above 500
Mm-hmm.
compared to below 500. I look at the point differential. Like, did you win by 10? Did you win by 20? What was the team's ranking at that time that week?
So, but then you're favoring sort of like style over substance, right? So, like, there
Well,
are
no,
teams
you-
who are just grinders, right? There are teams that don't put up
No, you're
they,
right,
They have
but-
5 possessions. They slow the pace down. Pension plan's a good example of that.
Right, but I think the
Pension plan's never going to
quality-
score 40 points, right?
No, but I think the
Well, they
quality of
could.
victory is very important though against teams. If
I
you're
agree.
playing, look, if you're number one, who
Mm-hmm.
are in the 6 hole right now, and you beat Zone 6 ballers, underdogs, Guardians, wants to be Pablo Luz Los Avocados, I'm going to say, well, you know what? They lost to the best team, but yet they beat
and their schedule's
the-
tough. And
Tough, yeah. That's how I would look at it. We can always say, and guys, we always have this argument with lower divisions. When a team goes 10-0 and they win by 45 points, but they get bounced, in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Why is that?
But that's
'Cause
why I
they
think
probably
that's why I
crappy
think
division
plus
schedule.
minus is not an accurate indicator.
No, it isn't.
It is
Because
up to an extent.
It's not though, because again, there's a lot of style that plays into it, and you can be getting a high plus minus differential against weak opponents, and then in the playoffs, it's a different scenario because teams are game planning for you. Teams, you're playing against the better teams. You're not likely to play against teams who are missing 2 or 3 guys.
Oh, that's what I'm
You're-
saying. That's what up to an extent where if you have a plus minus of 200,
Mhm.
then you are destroying everybody.
Okay,
But if you have a plus minus of 15, odds are.
But let's say
Close
again, like
finishes.
you're a team like I've seen Pension Plan, for example. I mean, they're
Yeah.
a good example of this. They control games,
Yes.
but they're never ahead by more than 2 scores, and they'll usually win. Like they'll say 20-6 or 20-13 or
Yep.
or 26-14.
Yep.
But they've controlled the entire game.
Yeah, but if you win by 10 every time, you finish with a plus minus of 100.
Well, they have a plus minus
That's
of
if you
50
win
right
the
now.
game.
Yeah, but if you compare
So
two,
you probably win with a
you
plus minus of
compare two
75 or 80.
like 2 schedules that are both 10 and 0, one team's plus minus is 200, the other one's 15. There's a huge disparity.
Yeah, but there's 50 right now. So they're winning on average, in theory, a little less than 8 points per game, like a touchdown.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. And especially they've had issues with.
But that
injuries
means you
too,
have to look at the teams that they defeated, right? And the
Mhm.
games that they were involved. Were those teams 5-2? Were they 1-6? There's a difference, right? All these teams that they were beating are 1-6 or a combined total of whatever 6-60. Then
Yeah, but to me that
they
matters in a
struggle.
way that we should consider the fact that a team.
But then you're also weighing offense, which I love, offense over defense, because a strong defensive team that just again controls the pace of the game isn't as valued as a team that's high pace, is fast paced and high
Well,
scoring.
depends. If you allowed 6 points against the bet, let's say you play the Los Avocados,
Mhm.
you win 14-6.
Yeah.
And Los Avocados add their quarterback, and they're
Mhm.
not missing their entire team. That's a very impressive win.
But here's,
Mhm.
here's
You took
thing,
the
though.
best offense, and
But
you
let's
shut
say,
them
but
down
let's
to
say,
6
okay, but
points.
let's say, okay, one team beats them 14-6.
Yep.
Another team, and they're only 2 losses. Los Avocados only 2 losses. Let's say, in this imaginary scenario, one team beats them 14-6. The other team beats them, 44-35 or 44-30.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's not necessarily indicative that one team was so much better in
No,
these
I-
3 teams. You know what I mean?
No, and
Right.
it's
But-
impressive in 2 different ways. Like one of them is the great defense that was able to shut them down. The other one is
That's why I think, again, the plus minus to me personally is not as accurate an indicator as, for example, strength of schedule, who you beat, what part of the season. In that game where X team beat Y team, who were the players there for X, who were the players there for Y? Like, did this team beat a team with all their players, or did they beat a team full of subs? I think that makes a
But
difference,
here's the thing,
especially in
though,
summer
right?
season.
agreed.
If you'd asked me where would my cutoff be for E1 playoff teams today, I'd probably have 8-9 in from the E1 side and 7 coming in from the E2 side. At this
7?
point. Because look,
But why can't, for example, because I see your reactions. Why in your mind would, let's say, all 16 teams not be able to come from E2? Because we don't know the teams before the season.
Because
right?
I know who I would pick, and I
Mhm.
don't have 7 on my list. So I'm
I have-
surprised.
I have 7.
To be fair, I have about, like consistently in my power rankings every week, which is the top 16. So that would be the
Yeah.
E1 playoffs. That's why we structure it that way. I consistently have 7 to 8 E2 teams
Okay.
because I don't think there's a huge gap between E1.
I don't think it's a huge
the
gap.
bubble team for me is Ducks right now.
Yeah.
They're
In
in
E1?
the minus right now. They're below 500, and you look at the
Because again, if you evaluate the Duck season, let's say the rest of the season they're winning 75-80% of the games. Now they've changed quarterback. It's a different team that you're evaluating than the first 2 weeks of the
Eagle,
season.
what's the Ducks?
Because the first 2 games no longer matter.
percentages
You know
right
what I
now?
mean? Or first 3 games don't matter.
Ducks are at 60.71.
So
opponent's percentage.
yeah,
Yes.
which is very good, right? So that's why they're a bubble, but you have to factor that in, saying, well, look, they've had a relatively tough schedule this year.
and again, the first 3 games that they lost was with a different quarterback playing the quarterback position.
Yeah, that also,
If you're undefeated now with your new quarterback, that needs to factor
yeah,
in.
it does factor in. But I think the way I like to see it is, how did you play? Let's say you're E2 team,
Mhm.
and you have any crossover games against. There's
no crossovers.
crossover games. So that
Our website doesn't permit it.
No, but like,
No.
it's,
Is
so
the
let's say
issue.
you're playing an E2, and the teams that we expect them to move up. Let's say these 4 teams that are made E1 are in E1 according to our current rank.
See, I think you're basing it on the same way that we divide divisions in higher divisions. Because again, before when we divided teams, it was arbitrary at the beginning of the season because we don't know enough.
Yeah.
And so basically, don't look at it as E1 and E2 as different conferences, as different divisions. They're essentially just different conferences.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one may or may not be
No,
stronger.
that's what I'm saying. If you're playing, so let's say you take a team like Easy Win. If we argue that, let's say, El Salvadore's Guardians are in E1 for the playoffs, how did that team fare against the potential E1 playoff teams?
But I think you also have to consider the teams that are currently in E1. How did they do? That,
You're trying to
that have
yeah,
similar
trying to
I would
records.
do the
forecast,
same thing
yeah.
on the flip side
You know.
too.
Trying to forecast, but right now, if you were to ask me, I think I had 6 teams from the E1 dropping down.
Like who do you got? Who do you got dropping down? Who do you got moving up?
Today, I'd keep Ducks in the E1 playoffs. I would have Broken Ankles, Loyalist Violence, XD, Dudes Where's the End Zone, bad loss from, by the way, A-Side and Jean-Guy dropping down,
Fair.
right? And by the way, Jean-Guy, they were late for their game. They came to St. Laurent thinking the game was St. Laurent. They didn't check the schedule.
Isn't
which
that the
was-
second time they've gone to the wrong field this season?
Well, I don't know, because they're like, oh, it's marked off here. I go, dude, I have it on the iPad. It says this. And if you go on the league website, oh, shit. What are we going to do, guys? And they zipped off and they won their game. But anyway,
It
Yeah,
might be
they won.
because week 7 and 8 we had to adjust the schedule.
yeah, and I
It
said,
might be
guys,
because of that.
I go, guys.
But always check the website. You know, like
Yeah. Also,
So anyway, those would be the teams to drop down, and the teams that would move up was Los Avocados, One Speed Power, Guardians, Underdogs. The Zone 6 ballers are on the bubble because, again, if they don't have the quarterback situation sorted out, they're not worthy of being.
But I
in the
think that's
playoffs.
just Ginsley Valbenard missing one game. I don't
He was
think-
there though.
He was there.
They're all there. Yeah,
It's very confusing.
Yeah, and number 1 would be in there. I think Easy W would get over Zone 6 ballers for that.
See,
E1
I wouldn't.
playoff
I would leave number 1 behind because the schedule's been so weak.
being number 1.
But I would include Bulldogs.
42.86 by the way for number 1.
Yeah, like it's the worst or second worst essentially. Where are we now? Because I haven't seen the new rankings yet. But
Bruins is the easiest schedule in E1 at 36.9. America de Sac is the easiest schedule at 28.57. in
And they're
E2.
14th right now. Their
Yeah,
division.
but number 1 is very low down the list in terms of easiness.
yeah, and like Bruins, depending how they finish, they might be eligible to go down to E2 because like if they end 5-5 and
Yeah.
they still have the easiest schedule, they might be in the middle of the pack. Let's say in E1.
yeah.
But like they're not necessarily as deserving
but again,
as a team with a
Bruins,
harder
we have to
schedule game.
consider they were missing the quarterback for a few weeks.
But they won those games.
Yeah.
They were 3-1. Well,
And
So-
Yeah, wasn't
it
it
doesn't
should he
stay
value
away?
a team's
Hmm?
outlook.
Should he
though.
stay away?
I don't know. I mean,
Is the team better without him?
I think they're about the same. They improved with his teaching of the game, and obviously when he's there, it never hurts. But I don't think they're that much worse when he's not there. Like the greatest thing
Yeah.
he gave them was knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
he's
taught them the
teaching
game
them, yeah.
exactly.
All right, it is now time before we go to of the week of the games here. My douche of the week.
Nice. What we got?
Oh,
I need some drum roll, please. Drum roll, please, Eagle.
That's better.
The douche of the week. The first ever MoCon douche of the week because
Okay.
there's been so many of them that we finally got ourselves a trophy. Thank you, Spring 2017. From the Krakens, number 9, Helder Santos Vieira.
Tell us
Thank
what
you.
Helder Santos Vieira did, Mokan.
Well, young man,
This is happening right now.
this is happening right now. Yes, it is. Anyway, gentlemen, they got their asses kicked by the Rancers, and he wasn't happy about that. He thought it was a little bit physical. And so he came up to me during the game. I go, dude, if you have any questions for the referees, don't ask me. I'm just pressing buttons on the iPad right now. Because that's me at the end of the game, and he was venting and was going in circles. I go, dude, you're calling this referee trash, but yet he works in the CFL, and he also does some NFL stuff. Well, you work with Rob. I go, no, I don't work with Rob. I'm just a field worker. I'm just tapping buttons over here on this iPad. That's all I do. I don't do anything else. No, I seen with Rob before. I go, no.
Mokan, the peacekeeper.
I
That's the
don't
first.
do anything, man. Like I'm just here.
That was the first.
I'm just working out here, dude. So this is going in circles and circles and circles. I go, dude, if you have
That's
a
it for a while too, like a good 2-3
like,
minutes.
Yeah, a good 8-9 minutes. We'll go.
Okay, that's not.
I'm gonna stretch it out here, make himself the victim, and essentially it's going in circles and circles. I go, dude, if you have a question, man, just email the league or the referees are right there. They'll be happy to talk to you afterwards. No, I want to talk to you. I go, no, I'm just a button pusher, man. I'm just, see, select, play, quarterback. That's all I do, man, and save. That's all I do. So, Helder, you get the elusive award of being the douche of the week.
And you're in Mokan's. So let's put this into perspective. If you have complaints, scorekeepers are there to listen and help out, but we don't make any decisions on the field. We'll never turn over a referee's decision. So
you can't.
no, we can't. But no, first of all, yes, we cannot. It's not like a scorekeeper cannot say, "Hey, I saw it differently. Let's turn this call around." That never happens because that's not how it works.
Only time the scorekeeper's ever involved is for the play-by-play history. Try to maybe a miss down. You can just backtrack and see what.
Yeah, if
happened
you
each
think
play.
it's third and maybe fourth.
they can verify that. That's the only thing the scorekeeper can
And
do.
Mo, to the same degree that you did, you can help prevent potential forfeits if you recognize, this player won't fit or this player
That's
plays in this
exactly
division.
what it is. But,
but they're in
Mr. Santos Vieira didn't think so. He thought I'm Robert Campana's right-hand man, his vice president.
But during a game, referees
lieutenants.
are the ones that takes the decisions, and we
Like
don't.
it is
we
in
have nothing to say.
every sport across the world at all times. The referees have the final say. That's simply the way it
I've
is.
never seen Roger.
Perhaps sports is not your
I've never
thing.
seen Roger Goodell turn over a call in NFL. Say, "Hey, no, he was
Stern
actually a bounce."
David Stern actually vetoed the Chris Paul trade back in 2012, right? So it has happened before. All right, anyway, that's the douche of the week. Games of the week, please.
Games of the week. In the Penny Bowl, it'll be Green Means Go against the U.
Give me to you, man.
Yeah, the
You.
U, and it's not gonna be close.
Yeah.
Sorry, Murderface.
Fighting Flamingos against Loyola's Finest.
Fighting Flamingos now surging, having won 3 in a row. Taking on who?
Loyola's finest.
Loyola's
Yeah,
finest.
going down.
Had to miss the game. I gotta give me 1 second. Gotta do this. George Spano, I do appreciate you reaching out to tell us.
Hold on.
Not quite douche of the week
Okay,
because
fair
they did reach out to tell us. That said, you're weak. Bring guys, even if you're gonna forfeit the game by breaking the cap. Show up to your goddamn games. You cost another team $200. You cost yourself $200. That's what you paid for that game. That is what you did not get anything for. So when you forfeit, it's weak. Don't do it. That said, thank you for letting us know because that is important.
At least
It is the least you can
in
do.
your weakness, you were noble enough to let us know.
Yeah.
Shame.
Thank you.
Shame.
Next.
Thank you.
Shame.
Shame.
Sandbaggers, underdogs.
Underdogs.
So
Yeah.
who do we have? Sorry.
Sandbaggers.
Sandbaggers just coming off a huge loss. Got beaten down by his own 6 ballers and a mystery quarterback against who do we say?
Underdogs.
Underdogs. Underdogs. One of these teams has been top of the division for a while, but also taking a loss this past week.
I'm gonna go underdog.
Underdogs. Next.
Bulldogs, replacements.
Lots of fast guys against a lot of fast guys who don't yet understand the game.
I'm going to go with replacements.
No, I'm gonna go Bulldogs, man.
And one more because I feel like it. Lemons, Brewers.
Lemons are a team that have really struggled. Brewers are getting better each week.
I'm going with Brewers, man. They've improved with Lefebvre quarterback.
I hate to agree with Mokan.
That's how he does it.
That's it.
Match of words, please.
The greatest misconception about millennials is...
Good night, Oklahoma City. Paul George, see you in L.A. Which one, though? Clippers or Lakers?
I mean,
It's not the Clippers.
Who wants to go to the Clippers? Like,
Don't discount
Not
Jerry
even
West,
DeAndre
man.
Jordan.
that's like... That's
He wants
like,
out of that place.
Yeah, well,
Like you know,
they
you
want
know,
to
like
clean
in
house.
those movies where like the girl always chooses the less attractive guy. Like that's what the Clippers want to happen. They think life is an Adam Sandler movie, but it's not.
Maybe they're trying to say, bro, I'm a lawyer. I might be ugly, but I'll be rich one day.
But they won't because they're still not there.
Still the
One of
Clippers.
them's got Magic Johnson, the other one's got some Johnsons.
Also, who says, bro, I'm a lawyer?
Lawyers.
Lawyers.